Welcome again to this space created for you by Assure for Life. Today, as usual, we're going to reflect and also learn about one of our main topics, that is the grieving process. As usual, my intervention about this topic comes with some situation in specific that we have to experience and live about the situation, that is the grieving, and then we're going to talk about the benefits, the keys, or even some kind of advice that we can bring to you about this topic. My name is Mariana and I am psychologist from Assure for Life, and I will invite you again to send and let your comments and suggestions to in our YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about unsolved issues after a loss. All the situations, all the experiences, or maybe some kind of requirements that comes with the loss of a loved one, that brings in the same situation some kind of conflicts, difficulties, or questions about what I must to do in this situation, and even when I have to experience my grieving, the pain or the sadness of the loss. At the same time, sometimes I need to experience some kind of situations about unsolved issues that comes with that loss. And we're going to talk about how to address that situations, or even how I can solve the issues with my family, or sometimes when you need to solve by yourself. Knowing that, we can even learn a little bit more about this situation and live a healthy grief, also having all the tools and skills that we would like to share with you in this conference. Knowing that, we would like to express and share with all of you what it is unsolved issues in the grieving process. All those things relate to previous losses and to the disease, which have not been properly solved at the time, and also generate an imprint that is reactivated after death, affecting the person's ability to deal with the current loss. When we talk about all the unsolved issues, also will come with the situations that sometimes comes with some payments, hearing aids, or even some kind of different family that maybe our departed loved one has before he departed, and we don't even know just at the moment when comes the death. So knowing that all the unsolved issues, or all the situations, projects, things, or debts that had the departed loved ones previous the death. Knowing that, we need to know the types of unsolved issues. We have with the departed loved one, the unsolved issues with my departed loved one, something that comes with some guilty feeling, forgiveness, or kind of situations that maybe had a lot of promises, a lot of objects or purpose together, and with the death, all that stopped. The promises, missing rituals or body, previous bereavement not work it out, and other issues. So let's start with the departed loved one. What kind of unsolved issues we have with the departed loved one? Those are what was said or done that hurt the bond, and sometimes comes with that kind of situations that were not easy for us to understand, or at some moment in the relationship make a lot of pain to the relationship, and then break a little bit the bond between our family member or the departed loved one. Things that were said or not done. the promises or even some kind of fantasy that we create with the departed loved one. When we have the hope that with some kind of diagnosis, you hope that maybe because you know that the loved one experience it and also accept and complete the process of the diagnosis of even the treatment, and he go and stay healthy or stay working in their health, you start to create a kind of fantasy that your departed loved one or your loved one person will live forever, because you see that the person can live and confront that kind of situations and give you the hope that the person will um, able to complete or accept the situation as usual. But the reality is not, is that you have to also accept that your departed loved one was previously ill, and that gives you a chance to understand and accept that maybe it was time to say goodbye and accept that the person will die at some point. Also, other unsolved issue with the departed loved one is the unfinished or the unrealized projects. That also is one of the duties that we're going to talk about the other issues at the end of this conference. One of the strategies that we bring to you for what was not said or what was not solved with the bone that was hurt or even that have a lot of pain inside will be the letters or greetings. When we have the chance to express our emotions, even remembering all the situations, all the pain, and all the maybe things that we were expecting that the other did when they were alive, we will give the chance to that situation to feel the freedom of I accept what was given or what happened at the moment. And also I accept that was not perfect our bond, but we love at the end of the time, or we love, it doesn't matter what happened. Then by the letters or by the expression and greeting or talking, then you will have the chance to accept and also feel that that unsolved situation, unsolved issue, or unsolved feeling will decrease the intense of the emotion, and then you will come the next day remembering your loved one, your departed loved one, accepting a little bit more of what happened before, and also accepting that that was the relation that you can have and handle at the time. The other strategy will be asking for forgiveness and forgiving. Forgiveness will be the chance that you give to yourself to accept what you did or what not you did, and what was possible to do and fix and remember of the best way, and what is not necessary to remember or bring to you or have all the time remember you what was better or this will be better, or having all this pain or weight of don't accept the situation or accept what was living or experiencing at the moment. And then come the forgiving, because you accept that the other has a chance to fix everything or not, or it was not possible for the other person because they don't have the ability or even didn't feel the same as you feel because it was not possible to have that conversation at the end. The other strategy is the prayer or religious rites. When we talk about these kind of rituals, we talk about one of the previous conference topic that we developed before, how I can have my own ritual where I can talk about the person that I love, and also I can bring a space in my heart at the private way and my individual way, where I can accept that the part of one in my heart And in the same way, I can accept what everything or what all happened at the end, and at the same time I will give the chance to the other to accept and remember them in the best way, with different feelings, not only guilt or hate, also be grateful and a lot of love that we have together. The other strategy is follow through our close plans and projects. Some kind of situations give you the chance to complete or follow the projects that you have together. Sometimes we can complete the project or continue with the project as an honor, as a way to honor my departed loved ones. So that is a good strategy, because at the same time you can name the project as the departed loved one, or even the follow the project will give you a lot of motivation to still creating or persisting in this project, or even if it was a dream together, complete it and make it come true. Seek professional help. Sometimes the unsolved issues needs a lot of professional help, because for some people the unsolved issues comes with a lot of conflicts, a lot of difficult situations, and it's not common to experience that conflict with yourself with the unsolved issues, but sometimes comes with some a tragedy, and sometimes it is difficult for the person understand and accept how it was the death and all the unsolved issues, because comes with a lot of intense emotion that is difficult for the person to handle at the end. So if it's necessary for you to seek a professional, remember that in A Cheerful Life we have the counseling sessions for the grieving process as a way to support that situations. So if you are a member of A Cheerful Life, you can ask for that professional support. And then we have the other situation, that is the second, promises. We have promises with our departed loved one. We have carefully analyzed them, reflecting or adjust them, and remember these two first kind of promises. We have to analyze how we can complete the promises, or even if that promises can be completed or they are possible for you. The first and the second promises, the first and second strategy that we have to bring to you and that we would like to share to you comes first one to the other. And also remember, if you can answer the first, carefully analyze your promises and the promises that you have with the departed loved one, we need to give or take the other step, that is rectify and adjust them. Sometimes when you have a promise with a person that you love, you deeply love, the promise comes with a lot of tasks and situations that you both can complete. It was not possible if you do it by yourself. So it's important to adjust them and say, I can complete this promise by myself, just like a way to honor my departed loved one. And then you come to the third point. Not all they can be fulfilled, and not for that reason you're feeling or being unloyal to your departed loved one. For that reason, you need to be so honest with you and how you can complete the promises, or even accept that it's not possible for you to complete the promise and you don't feel able to complete it now, maybe later, or being so honest with you, say, I can't complete the promise and I still loving my departed loved one. We invite you here also to seek professional support, because it is important to accept and learn that in this kind of situation, if you don't complete the promises, it doesn't mean that you are not loving your departed loved one or that you are being unloyal. Also, it means that in this case, in this situation, it was not possible to complete it. And being so honest with you will be the key for complete these four points. The third will be missing rituals or body. When we have a missing ritual or in some kind of situation missing body, we need to look at these three different situations: distance, difference in religious belief, and unfortunate events. Let's see what we have from handle these three situations with these strategies. We need to look for the first one will be difference in religions and belief. The strategy that we bring to you is personal and collective rituals. As we previously talked, the rituals in previous conference, we need to also create and have some kind of personal rituals where you can find the peace with the reality of the death, and also the collective rituals will bring to the family and also other members that love the person to accept and feel the support. If you would like to know a little bit more about the rituals after the loss, we invite you to see the previous conference about rituals, where we talk about these situations and all these strategies that you can have and also develop in an individual way or collective way. Then about the distance, the unsolved issues, when we have to accept and live a death or unsolved issues that comes with distance, we need to do this kind of a strategy that is symbolic funerals. When we have a symbolic funeral, at the same time we can give to the person that is so far away the chance to experience the own way and also the own ritual that they can give to the person, a way to understand what happened at the end. It is truth. It doesn't matter if I don't have a body, the body that I can see and also give me the chance to accept the reality. I will have as a tool with the video calls or even with other way like a call or a picture, a video about the person, the departed loved one, and at that moment I will understand what happened at the end, and I will have the chance to understand what everything happened, how it happened. The holy fields. In these situations we have to talk about the missing persons or the persons that were murdered. In these two examples, we need to talk in a deeply way about how we can handle that situation in the best way, and also how we can create a space or even give to the person a specific place where we know that the person died, even without a body. And it's important to give to the departed loved one and also to the family members a space where I can give to my departed loved one a space to live and accept that for that place or to that place is where I can cry, where I can feel connected with my departed loved one, and exists the place even when we don't have a body. It's important to complete and also understand that even when we have an unfortunate event, comes with a lot of unsolved situations, but at the same time we will give the chance to we will have the chance to understand what happened, and in the same time we will have the way to understand what happened. It doesn't matter if we don't have body, because we can complete the grieving process as a symbolic way. I can understand and accept that my departed loved one is not with me anymore because I complete all these steps and I give respectful farewell. Sowings and roots or pligmic images comes with different ways that I can have my departed loved one as a good memory that also brings to the family and to the mourners the experience or the hope or the calm feeling that they are with me, and also I can still complete in some situations or some kind of solved issues with that feeling that even when I don't have a body or even when I don't have a complete explanation about how my departed loved one was their death, I can even accept that I can have a good memory about that situation that it was so difficult for me to understand and accept because it wasn't a tragedy, it was not a natural death. For me, it was easier to accept the reality of the death, having this kind of symbols that will give me the road to even being more close to my departed loved one and remember them without the tragedy. Accepting that it was something not natural and give me a lot of intense emotions, but at the same time, I can remember the person completely. I can remember them as the way that they was, but not only the death. And the other strategy that we can have to close this third point is often in the mind of the family members the idea of finding him or her, or that the he or she has not died remains, which can delay the processing of the loss. It's important to consider early psychological support in order to encourage the healthy coping and acceptance adaptive of this loss, and therefore the proper process and grieving process. Let's continue with the fourth point, and is previous bereavement not work it out. That comes in two different situations, and we bring to you here previous losses not work it out and multiple losses at short time. When you can remember or accept that sometimes in a point of your life you have to experience a grief, and for any other reason different from the ones that you expect, it was not possible for you to complete that previous grieving because you have to work a lot, because you were pregnant, that happened a lot with pregnancy, and because you have to deal with other situation, because you have to study and you have to be so focused in that study process or study time, you avoid the grieving process and complete it. And then when comes other loss, important loss for you, that previous grief comes again like it was the same. And we have, as a professional, to experience a lot of different patients that have to experience that situations. For me, as a professional, I have to experience with different patients that previously lost a son or a daughter, or they previously lost their mother, and then or later they lost their father, and then they realize that the previous pain comes with more intensity when this other grief comes again, or with this other loss comes, and you have to work those two griefs at the same time. So let's see what kind of strategies we can have and develop in this kind of process. The first strategy is change to bring closer to old grief. This is new grief, give you the chance to close the old grief. At the same time that you can have the ability and the chance to accept the departed loved ones, actually the departed loved one passed away with all the situation. At the same time, you have to understand that the death is something natural, and also you solve the situation or the issue that makes you feel uncomfortable with the previous death or accepting. The other key will be to work through the loss with more awareness. You will become more conscious about the grieving after you be conscious about the importance of complete grieving. It's like a second chance to understand and accept how comes the death, and at the same time how I can deal with that in a healthy way. The third key will be try new strategies. If in some point with the old grief, one of the strategies was avoid the situation, avoid the pain of sadness, the new strategy will be accept the sadness or all the feelings. Even in the old grief, you avoid the support or talk about the death. Now the new strategy will be talk with the people that you love, or talk with your network, your support network, about your feelings and also about the death, and how that, and you will realize how that will help you a lot to complete this actual grief, and at the same time complete and close the old grief. And the fourth strategy will be focus on a grief, close one and then go with the next one, will be the key, because even when you are feeling a lot of pain, it is the same feeling, is not the same person. And being conscious of that is a different person, is a different way to different bond that you have with the person. At the same time, you have to identify how you can handle this situation, and the place where you can even give a specific place in your heart to that person that will be different to the other or to the old grief. And the last situation that comes with the unsolved issues during the grieving process is that the other unsolved issues by who have passed away. We have two different situations: lack of key documentation. The 5 point will be on other unsolved issues by who was passed away. We have three differences that comes with lack of key documentation, and the second will be family inherited conflicts, and the third will be debts and financial responsibilities. The first one, one of the keys or strategy that we bring to you is seek for legal and family medication or documentation. That is all the situations that you can have as a support or numbers where you can find the information exactly that will help you about how my family member was named, or all the numbers that he has as their by their name, and that will help you to seek and have a lot of information about your departed loved one. That will help you with a lot of different situations that give you the chance to understand what happened, and also will help you with a lot of different issues with conflicts, or about some information about the departed loved one that comes with the death, and will give contact to you, asking you about how this will paid or how this will solved for the other alive family members. The other strategy will be request official copies of documents. You can look for this legal information with copies, and also left a person in charge of that. If it's a person that knows a lot of things about legal process, or about how we can handle this documentation, that will give you a chance to less the responsibility, and also less the time that you spend looking for the legal documents about the departed loved one. And then we give you this strategy as also a way that you can look for the help of a professional. If you seek for an advice of a professional in the field, that person will be in charge of everything, and that person will give you all the information that you need about how I can solve debts about my father or about my mother that even I don't know that she or he has in the past. And also we'll have some kind of uncomfortable situations that comes a lot, and you can see it a lot in funerals, when we realize that that person, that family member, have all of their family, and we don't realize about that, we don't know that before, how we can handle that situation. And one of the things that we need to talk is, first of all, accept that that is a reality. And then at the moment of the funeral, the first thing that is so important is to be so respectful about the situation. Because if for a lot of people only the death is so difficult to accept and handle, think about how it will be if one of the situations that is so important, like the funeral, comes with a lot of conflicts, or disconfirmed, or even with a situation with conflicts. Try to accept and understand that it's just a situation that we can handle later, after the ritual, after the funeral. If your family member comes with some kind of secrets or different situations that you don't expect, try to look for the exactly moment when you were a little bit more calm and accepting a little bit more the loss, and then handle and solve that kind of situations that I know that will be a little bit uncomfortable to accept and realize. But then if you be conscious about the situation and how you can handle better, then you realize that it was better to avoid the conflict in that important situation like a funeral or a family ritual. And then you will realize that that situation, it was possible to solve and talk and handle in a different place, in a different situation. Knowing all these strategies and unsolved issues, we bring to you a final quote. It's appropriate to take care of what we were responsible for day by day, avoiding leading unsolved issues. But it's also good to accept that these are part of life itself, and to take advantage of this situation as an opportunity for personal growth, which helps to improve the quality of life and relationships with others. Sometimes we can avoid or even being prepared for these kind of situations if we in life don't have conflicts. We accept the other and also have a really created and healthy bond with our loved ones that are still alive. Knowing of that, we also grateful with you, and also as a cheerful light, to have the chance to bring to you a lot of different benefits and services as a member if you are. But remember, if you are not member of a Cheerful Life, you can look for our different for different applications where we can have in contact or being in contact, and then discover all the information that we create for you by Instagram, Facebook, or in our YouTube channel, and also in our website. We would like to invite you to our next upcoming conference. The next one will be on April 23rd. That will be how to deal with this unexpected loss and the other will be on May 7th, and is what is burnout and how to deal with it. We are so grateful with you to be part of this YouTube channel, but also we would like to remember you that you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for your time, and remember that let us your comments, suggestions, or questions in our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and see you in the next conference. Remember that a cheerful life is what we all deserve.